Here we are. This is the Orc Mega Bunker technically still, but it's the sector section for it. So the top half is actually the Orc Sector. So we're doing it as both at the same time. This could be fun. You ready? So first things first, let's have a look at it now. I've already glued this. You've seen me do these on the Mega Bunker one, so you understand that we glued them in place. I've been looking over the plans for this. I haven't built it yet. This is my first build of it. So we will go start with this panel here that slots there like that. So then we need these two bits, and they go over there. Like, doesn't go over that. Is it that bit? It goes there. Right, there we go. So it drops into that indent there. Then the other side is going to be the same. Slide over that and drops in. Yep, so they're straight. Obviously, as always, this all needs gluing. Okay, bottom piece. That way round. Then up in. That doesn't seem to go. Oh, right, okay. Doesn't actually go on the bottom. I thought it went on the bottom. It actually hooks in higher up. So there. Like that. So the base itself hasn't got that on it. Now, I know these sit behind here like this, and part of me is going, maybe you want to glue them in now? It says do it at the end, but I am wondering if you want to glue those in now while we're at this section, so you know where we are. These thinner bits, which are the ones with this, so central piece pin, they go onto here, the angled one, like so. I've just pushed that off the back. Wouldn't be a build if I wasn't clumsy, would it? I don't think I was clumsy there, to be honest. I just think that was off angled. There we go, that's into there, that slots in there, and that one's going to line up with those two pegs on this edge, hopefully not fall off. Everything is trying to fall off. Yet again, as always, glue it as you go along. I think to stop that falling off, you want to glue those on the back first. And then we have these bits, which slot in the gap there. Oh, right around. And there. So that's our front wall for this part. And we're going to go down a bit more, and we want the end section. So this bit, yet again, I've already glued this. This will slot into there in the back like that. If you want to glue it in before, that is up to you. Me personally, I think once we've got this all built up and laid out, you may want to. But that's just my thoughts. It's still at the end of the book, not at the beginning of the book. This was hard to find because it's just a very plain square. It slots in the top like that. This bit slots on top. That gives you that whole edge across there. Now, this piece goes up through here. Now, the long bit goes at the back and the short bit goes at the front. And that slots up through there like that and into there, which doesn't seem to want to go. That's already fallen off. Glue as you go along, people. Glue as you go along. But of course I'm not doing, because we want to get this up and built quickly so that you know what you're doing. Yet again, all fell to bits because I haven't glued anything. Slot back in, slot back on. They are quite loose. In the background now, on 3 of these, they are going to go up under these corners. Yet again, this is another one. You've got to slot them in. Everything's going to fall off as you do it. But would that be easier to do it before you put it together? I actually don't know. Because, you know, I am doing this for the first time. So I hook it under, kind of angle it up. Let's not go. There we go. And we're in. All those bits have already fallen off again. As you saw. Yeah, it's looking nice. I wouldn't trust anything to stand on it at the moment. I'll be honest here. And these bits, yet again, no idea which way the cross hatching goes as always. but they line up on the outside like that, and there's 4 of those all the way around. Now here's the weird bit. Now it's telling me we put the feet on, so now you put the bottoms on. I personally think you probably want to do this as you go along instead of doing it all. Not that one, just those 3, just those 3. The back one is the double one, it's here. It's further along in the plans, but we'll do it now while we're here. Yeah, I part of me thinks that you just want to do this as you go along. Maybe build these up first, and then so they're glued and ready, and then just slot them into place. Because as you can see, it continually likes to fall to bits on you. It's not the tightest bit of... I haven't actually filed any of this. This is just straight off the sprue. Haven't filed any of it. Yep, now yeah, the double bit is the next piece, and then we have to build. You've seen me build these before. Slot these on first because it is easier. Just line them up like that. Put your foot in like so, and this is obviously your back support over here. And that sits like that. I'll put the foot back on later. And then once you've done all that, there is another one I missed of these pieces to go on this back side here, like so. I missed that when I was collecting my bits. Then it tells you to build this bit, obviously slot it in place, and also slot these 2 pieces inside of here. I would do this at the start, to be honest. I don't think you want to wait until it's all built to do this, because see, everything's just falling to bits. So maybe put these sections on the inside in at the beginning when you first start it, just to make it easier for you. That is your call. But that's I'm just got everything fall to bits as we do it. You'll see it at the end once we've done all 4 corners and the top again. And that, though ramshackle as it is Orcs after all, is the first section of the sector base. Right, so part 2 or section 2. I've already glued this bit. This is the support stand, as you can see. Goes there on this one. It'll fit on this one. Further around on this one. So with this one, where do we start? Well, I've already glued this. Obviously, that sits in the back of this piece, like so. In theory, I should glue it in now. I haven't actually sanded anything, but I should glue it in now and then build it. Just for ease, because I feel that that's going to be a pain to get in once you start trying to get around. Actually, no, it does say stick it in before you start. I'm not going to, because we'll glue later. Right, now this goes into there, like so. That is the bottom panel, and we have an end panel, which is this one here with the window, and that goes on the end halfway up like that. This is then followed by this bit. This is really flimsy and weak just here, so be careful. Didn't snap it, but it made an awful creak when I cut it out. I'll be honest with you, I thought it was going to snap. These are the curved ones, which are over here. So these. Now, it does say this first and then in, because if you look at the angle we're going to be putting them in at, on this side, that's going to be a pain to get to. Also, this is really wobbly. You'd have thought they'd have re-supported the base before we do this, so I'm just going to slot that in. That is right, isn't it? Yeah, that's what it says. That slides in there like that. That's correct. This should be on the back of it already. Doesn't want to go. Everything's going to fall to bits again, as always. But yeah, there we go. That goes on there. That should still go on there. It's that one. Then on this side, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Same, mounts up like that. I am wondering if with these bits, it might just be easier to glue it before you do it. So instead of having them done here and now, actually build them and glue them in place on the flat bit before you actually mount them on the side. Because look, that's just so wobbly and on each edge, and doing this is just going to be a nightmare. And in case you're wondering, yes, I did break one pulling it out. You see the curve in it there. But as you know, we can just fix that with glue later or flex it back around. It is only paper after all. I may for now put it up here. And that's all fallen to bits. Because clearly it doesn't want to build how I want it to build. So you're going to see me swearing a lot on this one, I think. But yeah. Reality of this one. Yeah, there you go. So this bit probably wants to go in sooner. It slots along the bottom like this. See, that holds that so much better in place, and then these should sit in there like that. That's holding. That's a lot sturdier. If you watch that flex there, it shouldn't have done, but it did. Yeah, I would put that base plate in first. And then across the top, we can have this piece as well. So look, that, like that, supports that whole section a lot better. I've got to admit, we've still got to get this section in under here. Like so. But with this one, I do feel it's a glue as you go. It is, well, all of them is always a glue as you go along. Right, that isn't, there we go. That's in. Is it going to go at the top? Yes. And that, because it's got the top and the bottom support in it, is a lot safer, a lot sturdier, and a lot better to hold. So yeah, don't. Oop, I've just snapped it. I'll glue that one up later. I'll grab another one. We'll use that. That goes in there. That slots back over that. Now these pins here then slot in between that, and that gives you the better beam. It's the same on this side. So one beam. Okay, that didn't work. So we do one. We do the top and the bottom first, and then slide it in. Two. That's 1 and 2. Let's just put that back piece in there because it's all falling out again. There we go. Turn. Now this back edge is actually this piece. Where are those bits that I had a second ago? So I want I think I want 2 of these. No, I want 1 of these. That one there on the bottom. We do also need this piece, so they go in like that and like that. And that slots into the bottom. The large one to the back, I believe, of the broken ones. That's the short one. Yeah, I've done those wrong way around. Short one to the front, which won't go for some unknown reason. I'll have a look at that in a second. The large one to the back. I know you're watching it all fall down around me. That's okay. Well, I will go away and glue it afterwards. Once I'm done, that goes there, and then that final pin slots in between. The entire thing falls down because it's just the way it is. Now, on the other edge, which you have to watch me rebuild again just quickly, I'm not going to put the other bits back on. I'm going to leave the edges off. You saw me do it. You'll see it at the end as well when we do the glamour shots. But let's just put all this back together so we can do the other edge. And the other edge is this piece, and this goes on here somehow. That looks wrong. Is it that way around? The plans on this bit are not great. So, right, it may go. That seems like the better way around for it to go. So that whole section, yeah, that's the way around it should go. So that whole section makes it the end plate and it holds it in place. And then obviously you have the foot, which goes, or would go, in there. So yeah, but as you can see by this one, you're going to be gluing it as you go along, because you got to, because it just keeps wanting to fall to bits. There is one more piece. There is one more piece. These tiny circles, there's 3 of them. They just slot in to there like that, along the bottom of this board to make it like a drain. So that's just like a drainage point, I think. Obviously when you're cutting MDF in with a laser, you can't make circles. Well, you can, but you can't make pipes. You probably could if you put your mind to it, I guess. So that would lock into there like that. Yeah. Seriously, with this one, guys, glue it as you go along. This one just doesn't want to play ball. There it is, glued up. Yeah, that was difficult to get to stick. It came from one of the bits even when I was trying to glue it. That is not one of the easiest sections to do. But that is section 2 done. Let's set up for section 3. Right, let's try that again. I've just filmed this once, so it didn't go to plan. It forgot to record. I am really sitting here now hoping everything has recorded. Anyway, I've glued these already because you need to do the 4 pins through the top, 2 side bits and the base on, and it would have just kept falling to bits if I hadn't done it. Also, the door itself, though this is cut out, as you can see, it doesn't suggest pushing it out. It does suggest gluing this, though, to the front. And if you do it like that, normal door. If you do it like that, it's the entrance to Cerebro. I also pre-did this bit. Yet again, another one, push out, put the pegs on, glue at the back. It's done. Now, I have just built this, so I'm going to have some problems. First things first, that slides into there, that slides into there, that hooks up like that. The end piece clicks over the end, like so, and there's a gap. That's not an issue, because we're going to insert these. Now, there's 3 of these. I broke the top off one. See? I don't really know what much of a difference it makes, but these slot into these holes along here. There's one. Make sure it's the little pegs to the inside. That's 2. This then goes over the top of it like that. Holds it in a bit better. We'll go do 3 at the end. Now if you look, there's nothing actually holding 3 in apart from that bit there. And we then slot this over that like so. That is 3 done. While we're here, we'll just put the stand in the hole at the back just to support it. There we go. And then these bits now. Bullet, middle. This section, I'm just going to drop these over it to save me time later. Like so. That slots into there. This one, same again. Slot that over. Slot that over. It is the smaller one. There is variations of this in the system, in the model. That's that done. And then this bit locks into here. This one needs gluing because there is nothing at the back supporting it, see? I'll just show you from the other side. There is nothing in there holding that in place. It just slots in and it's done. And as always, everything needs gluing in. So if it doesn't, it just falls to bits, as shown. So there you go. Just slots in like that. And yeah, the final bit is that foot, which we've built 1,000 times already. That just goes in like that. And there you go. That's wrong way around. That is section 3 complete. On to section 4. Right, this shouldn't be too hard. We're going to have to talk about a bit of it. I've glued up the doorway already and set all that up. Yeah, again, this one we pop out and then we can put the latches on so it sits back. You can break it up more so you can actually have the door open if you wanted to. I built the post for the back of it. Here is the top. So this slides in like that. Simple enough. This one slips over like so. That's a bit from the original frame I haven't removed, and then this one goes in here. I'm not even doing this in order. Oh, my light is flickering. We got a bit of a wind problem outside. It's causing some electrical issues, as you can see. So they go on like that. This goes on the end here. That way round. Then that bit slides into here. Like so. I did just build this a minute ago to sort all the bits because the desk is covered in all of the bits at the moment, you see. This bit goes on this edge. Now that's going to need gluing because that just sits freely like that on there. Push that back up. And these bits slot into these gaps on the top, which I think is a little bit weird because it doesn't actually support anything. I don't know why they're there. I really don't. At all. And then this piece goes on the back, small hole to there. Same as one of these other ones which I forgot to show you. And finally that piece goes in under here. He says it won't go in, maybe I'm at the wrong angle. I'm at the wrong angle, that's why. That's in. Back up. Now this edge is this box, or will be this box. I hate making these. So you need the thin ones, and there are two different sizes. There's a thicker one and a thin one, as you can see. You need the right one out of the. Oh, that's the thicker one. I just showed you the thinner one, the thicker one. See? You see, it's just slightly bigger by a millimetre or so. You want the thin one. I need to be less clumsy. You then have to put them all in. Oh, my light's gone out. Okay. There we go. My light is starting to go wrong. I need to replace it. They all slot in one after another in here. It says start with the bottom one. I wouldn't start with the bottom one. If I were you, that's a thick one. Let's get rid of that. I wouldn't start with. Well, you should start at the bottom because the angle you've got to turn it at goes the same way. But I would get all of them in. One more to go. There it is. Like so. Then, now they are the feathery bits on the edges do go different directions, so don't worry about that. And you're going to try and get them all in together, which, trust me, takes an effort. There we go. And the last one, which it suggests is the first one, I would put in last because that's the one that goes at the bottom there. Then I have to just check this because I can't remember which way around this goes, and that's not a good thing. So the bottom piece, where that one is, we need the one with the gap. That then goes, slots over that somehow, he says, like that. And that takes that, and then this bit, thicker bit to the top, thinner bit to the bottom, slides over that like so. That gets you that. It's really not well to sit. And that slots into there. Like that. Obviously the bottom falling off because I've not glued it. And that is the last of the four corners. We've got the middle to do, and then we've got the bit on top. I'm building this in sections. This is the final section, and I'm going to build it in sections. So theoretically it says do this. Put this in here. That's the right, is that the right one? Possibly. Oh, it's the angled one. There it is. Put that in there. This one goes here. We then build the base, or we build the bottom of it. You flip it over, it all falls out. So, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to show you this way. Then I'm going to go and glue it, as I do. So, in there, that bit in there. These are already glued because I built these beforehand. So it slots in like that, slots in like that. This bit hooks over the top of that and then goes into there and slots into that. That one does the same on this side. This goes in the middle because it's the middle one. And these two slot into there like that. I don't know why. And by the power of editing, okay, when I say editing, I mean pause button. It's all glued. Now, the top half, this piece slots in there. You want the engraved bit going towards the outside. Now, this piece, so we're going to drop this over here, which drops that to there. And this piece slots in like that. This is going to involve glue, not right now, but you know how it goes. That locks that in, and then this one goes in here. This bit, and the bits with the weird angles on them, goes in there. And that's the centre complete. So there we go, that is the completed centre. And then these go around the outside somehow. Right, that one goes there. I don't actually know the order. Oh, no, that one goes there. I may fluke this and get all four of them on here in the correct order, but I am really doubting it. Because it's me and I'm not that lucky. Okay. And finally this one goes here. And that is the whole second level. Free it up. As you can see, that's the second level. There is a third level. Will you be waiting for the third video? I don't know. No, do you know what? We will. There'll be a third part to this. We will do the top section and that'll be it. And then we'll build the whole thing together. And you'll see it all as one piece. So, right. Until next time.